Hey guys, it's Danny Bell. I hope you guys are having an awesome day today so far. For today's video, I wanted to share with you 10 villager house makeover ideas. We're doing a Farmcore edition because we just finished up our Farmcore island of Sugarbelle and I'm really excited. So without further delay, let's get going. I'm really excited to share some of these 10 villager interior home makeover ideas with you guys. So first things first, in order to unlock the ability to redecorate the interior of your villagers' homes, you need to complete 30 Happy Home Paradise builds on the DLC. I know, it seems like a lot, but actually if you get into the DLC and if you are like me and so many of us, you've started it back from the 2.0 update, it actually goes pretty quickly. So once you see KK's party barge arrive on the shores of your Happy Home Paradise Island, head on over to Resident Services back on your main island and be sure to go talk to Tom, because this will give you the ability to redecorate the interior and exterior of your villagers' homes on your home island. And this is really amazing because, guys, how many of us have picked villagers strictly based on the exterior of their houses and maybe even sometimes the interior? I can definitely think of a few that we picked here early on Sugarbelle that made all the difference. Now remember that you can only do one home makeover per day, so if you're in a hurry to do this, you might have to do a little bit of time hopping. It's definitely worth it, and you'll have to part with a few bells, but Tom will graciously reward you with some Nook miles after the fact, so it's definitely worth it. The best part is you can decorate exactly like you do on the Happy Home Paradise DLC, so it's really easy to do. The only downside I would say is that you can't change the size of the inside of your villager's home, so we are stuck with the same dimensions as the defaults. But hey, it's still a great way to be able to customize the inside of the houses as well as the outside so that they better fit not only your villager's personality but also the aesthetic you're going for on your island. Definitely makes a difference. So let's head into our list of 10 redecorating ideas. Number 1, AVA'S Country Coop. Okay guys, so being that this is a Farmcore island, I was really tempted to turn Ava's house into a dirt floor, make it look exactly like a chicken coop, but for those of you that have had the opportunity to visit Sugarbelle, we definitely spent a lot of time personally customizing each of the villager yards to bring them into the Farmcore theme and give them each a unique yard area, which will be featuring here in a future video, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, for the inside of Ava's house, I kind of wanted to continue with the same theme of the pink and the roses. You can see that theme all throughout her original default house interior. I really like the pink, just given that there's not a lot of opportunity for pink in Farmcore Island designs. I was hesitant to just turn it into a straight dirt floor type of chicken coop. So I decided to do a twist on that, so let's check it out. I kept it classy, definitely added some wall partitions and some ceiling items because I wanted to infuse a lot of the 2.0 updates into the villagers' homes, because prior to that, the default houses don't have any of those things, so it was really important to me to add ceiling fixtures, play around with the different lighting and soundscapes, and just for fun, we kept the outdoors indoors with this beautiful meadow type of flooring with the little flowers. I thought it was perfect for a cute little chicken like Ava. She's definitely a sweet, tender heart, so I wanted to show her a lot of attention and give her a sweet little place that she could call her own that was still very much like her original build, but definitely infusing, like I said, some of the 2.0 items. I think using things like the counter and the wall partitions, any of the items that are new to the interior builds from the 2.0 update definitely make a huge difference in builds like this. Alright, next on our list we have ELMER'S feed store. Okay, so Elmer was a tough one, guys. He's a lazy villager, which means I wanted to still sort of keep the concept of it being equine themed in some way. You can see from his original interior, it's got the backyard wallpaper, the grass type of the backyard lawn flooring, that type of thing. So he definitely has this concept of bringing the outdoors in, which I really liked, but I still wanted to do something that's a little more conducive to a horse, and I wanted to create an area that would definitely be something not just like a stable, but something that would be a little bit of a twist on that. So what we ended up deciding to go with on this particular build was this interior for a feed store. I really like how this came together. It's definitely more of an inside build, but still screams equine for sure. I love all the little things. I just basically thought that anything that you can think of that would pertain to a farm or feed store, anything of that nature, little plants, feed sacks, seeds, all the amenities, including these cute little baby chicks for sale, I thought would be perfectly fitting for Elmer's house interior. And even though he doesn't really have a whole ton of space, sorry Elmer, I think he still really likes his house. So all in all, it worked out, and I'm really pleased that Elmer has a nice place to call home. And by the way, any of these builds, if you'd like to see them in person, I'll be sure to link Sugarbelle's dream address in the description of this video for you guys. I'd love for you to come see it in person. Okay, next on the list is ROSWELL'S fish fry. So y'all, Roswell is one of the new villagers from the 2.0 update. I love him. I really wasn't honestly expecting him to stay on Sugarbelle, but I couldn't help it. He's smug and adorable, and I just actually kind of loved the idea of the inside of his house. It just really wasn't screaming Farmcore. We ended up doing a bayou build for his outside yard, and I wanted that to sort of reflect more on the inside, because this before build for the inside of his interior it almost looks like a cityscape. So I definitely wanted to do something to change that up, but still keep the idea of a bayou fish fry, a little restaurant of sorts where you could come get a little snack. So yeah. Okay, so the after I think came together nicely. We still kept the concept of it being mossy and green. His yard is definitely chopped full of a lot of the glowing moss, swampy, and all of those good things. So keeping the idea of that on the outside, I wanted to infuse that in the inside with some of these hanging vines, as well as using some of the mossy wall, and then keeping some of the original furniture from his original design. I really like the stall idea, so we customized that with more of a rusty sort of tin roof look, and then of course added a lot of the new 2.0 foods like this deep fried fish and coleslaw, as well as the pile of fries, and then even a couple of gyroids for customers. I thought was perfect for Roswell. All in all, I like how this came together. I think it definitely passes for a fast food restaurant with a twist for a bayou. Perfect for Roswell without completely abandoning his original style for his interior. For a couple of extra special touches, I added this custom design with the alligator crossing sign, which I just couldn't help myself, guys. It was too cute for words, and I definitely wanted to include it on his interior design as well. And then adding things like these crates of fish ready to be cooked and deep fried, I thought was just perfect for Roswell. Okay, so next on the list, AGNES'S fancy pen. Oh my gosh, you guys, who doesn't love a sisterly sassy pig like Agnes? Her before look was actually pretty fancy in and of its own. We have the rose bed and lots of fancy carpet. Definitely a lot of dark gray and black tones splashed with a little bit of pink here and there, which is perfectly matching to her look itself. I really like the concept of the tonality of the interior of her house, so I didn't want to change that too much. So while thinking about what we could keep, guys, I definitely wanted to get rid of this cat tower. Why does a pig even need a cat tower? I'm not really sure, but that was definitely an item that came with her default build, and it definitely had to go. So aside from that, definitely looking for ways to infuse a lot of fancy things in Agnes's house so that she can feel completely special, because she totes deserves it. Okay, so let's check out the after. Here it is. Definitely looking regal. I love this fancy rug. This is one of the newer rugs. Love the sofa. We added a little piggy bank and moved her tea set around, infusing a couple of the Nordic pieces, as well as an antique bed. And oh my gosh, girl, check out her wine collection over there. It looks like she's been shopping at the local winery, and I'm really excited because Agnes is my girl, and I feel like we could definitely hang out, eating some sushi, having some wine, and just hanging out with having some girl chat. Definitely sounds like a blast for sure. Aside from that, we've infused the rosewood flooring and some of the molded crown wall because I think it was perfect for her look, keeping a nice, simple design on the wall, but playing up her fancy side with this wedding table with all of the gorgeous place settings. That's one of my favorite things about these wedding items, you guys. You can see all of the pre-placed table settings on here in the candles. It looks completely elegant while making the table look completely filled out, instead of just using a basic table that maybe has 2 or 3 spots to place things. All right, next on the list is SHINO'S Zen Studio. Oh my gosh, guys, Shino is my new fave. I think that she's slowly but surely won over all the hearts in the Animal Crossing community. I kind of view her as the new Raymond, guys. I don't know, I still love Raymond, don't get me wrong, but I think Shino has really stole the spotlight from him. Now, her original house has like a dojo look to it. It has this screen wall, as well as the tatami flooring, and she even has this cute little wood stove over here, which I didn't want to part with. So again, I always try to look for ways when redecorating villager houses that I can keep parts of their original build, just to kind of preserve some of the things I really did enjoy, while also changing up the coloration and the decor and just sort of filling in the area to make it look more polished all in all. I guess maybe because it's springtime currently on Sugarbelle and all of the cherry blossoms are currently in bloom on the trees, I couldn't help myself. I definitely wanted to infuse that style in her new decor of her house. All right, check it out. We've actually added the cherry blossom flooring. I really love this flooring. It's again another way that you can bring the outdoors in, and check out this wallpaper, you guys. I love the cherry blossom wallpaper. Using it as an accent wall, I think, is definitely more feasible for something like this, in particular with the villager house interiors, since they are a smaller space than what we're used to for our own houses on the game, as well as on the DLC, where we can actually change the dimensions. I think using things like an accent wall definitely makes it feasible, where you can put in different elements without making it overwhelming. So something like this cherry blossom wall, I think, makes for a perfect accent wall in this particular situation. And then I also added things to make it more relaxing for her, like a little yoga mat that's customized with a little sushi pattern, as well as a little snack, a little fruit infused water jug, and then just all in all giving her a really serene place to hang out. All right, number 6 on the list is Ketchup's garden patio. Okay guys, so Ketchup actually was the first villager that I changed the interior for on Sugarbelle after unlocking the DLC ability to do that. I actually really like the concept of her interior being like a backyard patio or garden area. I love the climbing ivy on this wallpaper, so I wanted to keep that, and I knew that some of the outdoor elements I wanted to preserve as well. So for her new design, we sort of moved some things around. We added a pergola, we added a Moroccan sofa over here, everything color coordinated, of course, for red and green for her. I think my favorite part of this build, you guys, is the stained glass lamp hanging from the ceiling. I absolutely adore that lighting. I think keeping things like her original little picnic basket and her little water dispenser and the brick oven in the corner, I just couldn't bear to part with them, but I'm really happy with how it came together for her. Okay, number 7 is Dom's backyard gym. Okay, so Dom is our favorite jock on the island. He was the most highly requested villager when we were villager hunting at the beginning days of Sugarbelle. The interior of his house is oddly similar to Elmer's original look. It's got the same backyard fencing wallpaper, the same grass flooring, so I decided I wanted to at least preserve part of that, but I wasn't really liking the whole layout. It seemed just fairly empty. I just really wanted more jock type of vibes going on for him, since he's a jock type villager. So we had the idea that we could add in lots of different workout equipment, but still make it look like a backyard so that it didn't look like he was hanging out at Planet Fitness all day. So we preserved a few of the things in the build, including this cute lawnmower, and sort of rearranged things. Here's the after. We added a volleyball net and just a few little sporting good items like this protein shaker over here, and then a cute little mitt chair in the corner. I couldn't help myself, you guys. I really think he loves his new place. I'm really pleased with how this build came together. I think it still definitely looks like a little pasture area for Dom, but with a little bit of the sports type of theme infused, which I think is exactly the thing that I was going for with this type of idea. And then using things like this retro bus stop in the red, I think really makes the color pop. Dom has always been known to have these cute little swirled red horns, and I definitely wanted to pull that out in this build, so just finding little pops of red to add here and there, like this cute little flying bird that is a ceiling fixture that we added, along with just coordinating things like his little barbell and radio, just so that there was little touches of red here and there in his house. All in all, I think he's really happy with it, and I'm of course pleased, and yeah, everything perfect for our little buddy here. Next on the list is Norma's milkshake shop. Okay, so her backyard definitely is looking a little bit bland, guys. Again, more of the pasture flooring, definitely a lot of the wallpaper of the outside coming in, which is usually one of my faves, but I wanted to make it more prone to something that a cow would have, and so we turned it into this adorable ice cream shop or milkshake shop here on the island. We centered it in town just so that it would look like one of the other business buildings in our little town of Sugarbelle. I really like how it came together. It's definitely more her personality, in my opinion. We used lots of the pink to infuse in her actual coloring, as well as the green and the blue and the white, just to sort of bring everything together. It was a really nice excuse to bust out the diner counters. Oh my gosh, guys, I really love that item. I know it's an older one that we've had for a while, but I was really excited to use it, along with a lot of the new signage, like this cute little tropical drink stand, and then trying out some of these cute little cafe tables with the little skirts on them. Oh my gosh, I love that you can customize them. I think the tablecloths being able to be customized make all the difference in the world, and I'm really happy with how it came together. Okay, next we have TIPPER'S Creamery Condo. Okay, guys, I used a little bit of creativity when it came to this. We did Tipper's entire exterior as a milking parlor or like a cow pasture. Her inside is really fancy though, and given that she's a snooty villager, I didn't want to give away everything and create just a backyard stall or a barnyard or anything like that. It just didn't scream Tipper to me. So we took this sort of concept of everything being elegant and turned it into this amazing creamery apartment slash condo. I really like this. I love being able to use the wall partitions. I think it makes a huge difference. It's definitely a game changer for us when making interior builds for our villagers. I think that being able to section off and then use items like this wooden deck floor rug, I think make all the difference in the world, especially when you're trying to create an apartment style out of a one-room area that you can build. I think it definitely makes a differentiation between the two areas of the building or the apartment. And then adding things like this accent wall, which is an outdoor view, you can create this really great view of a patio where you can kind of imagine Tipper hanging out, enjoying some of her stash of fresh milk that she has here in her closet area. Yeah, I really like the concept that they've given us with the ability to use the accent walls, the wall partitions, all of those things I think make a huge difference. And being able to customize the furniture and coordinate it together I think adds a lot as well in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Again, I wanted to take advantage of the ability with the indoor builds to use some of the new light fixtures. I love this drapery. I feel like I've really struggled, you guys, learning how to use these draperies from the ceiling. I really like them. I'm finding that if you use them to section off or separate rooms, it definitely has a great use. Also, again, using custom designs like the little milk label on the bottles I think can make all the finishing touches for our builds for our villagers. Okay, and for our last item on the list, we have Tangy's grocery store. I saved this one for last because I think it's probably one of my faves. I always actually kind of liked Tangy's interior for her original house. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but I like the bright colors. I like the infusion of the fruit furniture. I just wasn't really sure if I was loving it enough to keep it. She does have an orchard area on Sugarbelle, and I was really pleased with how that came together, but adding more fruit furniture in the interior meant I felt like it was a little bit overkill for Tangy. So I wanted to completely overhaul it, and I figured since Sugarbelle is a small town Farmcore island, I wanted to give our villagers a little place where they can stop and do a little bit of grocery shopping if they're in a hurry, pop by and get just a few little things that they need. So for Tangy's build, I decided to overhaul her entire apartment from this cute little fruit stand idea into this amazing grocery store. And oh my gosh, guys, can we just stop and appreciate the shopping carts? I love them. They're so adorable. And definitely having things that we can use for accent walls, like these shelves with all the canned goods or anything like that, I think makes a huge difference. Being able to use things like some of the fruit items on the wall, I think still pulls together Tangy's original design from her default house, but then adding things like these shelving items with the little bottles on the wall, things like this little retro freezer, and then also adding things like the canned goods stands in each of the corners, I think for sure gives a 3D effect pop for this type of build. I decided to keep her green retro kitschy tile sort of look because I still wanted to add in some of the things and give a little bit of a nod to her original style, but I'm really happy with how it came together, using things like this stall with the customized little fruit logos on it, as well as newer items like these stacked barrels, and then even using things like a little beach ball that looks like a watermelon, I think add a lot to a build like this, definitely. Again, taking advantage of the signage and the ceiling items, I think using a little special sign on the ceiling is just sort of the icing on the cake for Tangy, and I'm really, really happy with how it came together. Okay guys, well I think that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found some inspiration and great ideas that you can take back to your islands and try out for yourself. If you guys enjoy this content, please let me know in the comments or like this video and consider subscribing to the channel. Wishing you all an amazing day, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.